Hello and welcome to another HTML and CSS tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at something called child selectors. Okay, so for this HTML file I have a CSS style sheet, an external style sheet, which is in my resources folder, and it's called stylesheet7.css, which I have over here in this tab. Okay, it doesn't have any style information in there yet, but in my HTML file I have a div already set up, and inside that div I have a paragraph. Then outside of the div I have another paragraph, and that's just in the body section, it's not inside a div. So basically this first paragraph, we can describe that paragraph as a child of this div. Okay, so it's a child of a div because it's inside a div, and the div is this paragraph's parent. But this paragraph down here, it does not have a div as a parent. Okay, so it's not a child of a div. However, its parent is the body. Okay, because it's in the body section of the web page. So its parent is the body, and the paragraph further up the code is its parent is the div. Okay, so let's have a look at our style sheet. Now we can apply a style to our paragraph element, and that style could be something like color blue. Okay, so the color, we'll save that. The color of paragraphs will be blue. Now, if we right click and open this in the browser, you'll see that our paragraphs are now blue. But we can apply a style to elements that are inside another element, or that are a child of another element. So for example, we can apply a style specifically to this paragraph that is a child of this div. So we can say div and then p, so we have the parent and the child, and then we can set a style in there. So we can say color, maybe red for this one, and save that. So basically any paragraph inside the body section of the web page will have blue colored text, and any paragraph that is inside a div on this page will have a color of red. So we can go back after saving that CSS style sheet and refresh, and now the top paragraph is red because it is inside a div, and this paragraph is blue because it isn't inside a div. It doesn't have a div as a parent. Okay, but this red paragraph, it's a child of a div, and because in our style sheet we said we've got div and p, what we're saying is that any paragraph that is a child of a div, we want that text to be red. Okay, we can also use that with classes and IDs. So if we have another div down here and we say div ID equals my paragraph, and then we have this, we have some text there, so this paragraph is a child of another div, and then we close that div off, we can save that, we can go to the style sheet, and we can say hashtag my paragraph, referring to that div that has an ID of my paragraph. Just checking that that's spelled right, and then we can say p, and then we can style that with say a color of green. Okay, save that and refresh, and now this paragraph is green because in our CSS we've said turn the color of any paragraph green for any paragraph that is inside the div that has an ID of my paragraph. So even though we have up here at the top of our CSS style sheet, we've told CSS, using CSS code, we've said that we want paragraphs to be blue. That's what was specified here in the first three lines. But because these lines here are more specific, so this is saying paragraphs inside a div, and this is even more specific, saying paragraphs inside a div with my paragraph, it will take the most specific information and apply it. So if we go back to the HTML and we put in another paragraph down the bottom here, so this is another paragraph without a parent div, save that. If we refresh it, this should be blue. There we go. So it's blue because there's no specific information there. It's just a paragraph. It's not inside a div, so it's not going to be red, and it's not inside a div with an ID of my paragraph, so it's not going to be green. It's just a regular paragraph without a parent div, so it's going to be blue. Okay, so that's basically child selectors in CSS, and it's basically just how elements work inside CSS, and using divs and the body section of a page. We can have parents and we can have children. So the elements, for example, paragraphs inside divs, those are children, or they're a child of a div, and paragraphs or headings or whatever other element you're using that are just in the body section of a web page, the body is their parent, so they don't have a div as a parent. So that's how you can basically apply styling to different parts of your web page. So for example, you might apply a style of a specific color for text that is inside certain divs, and you might apply background colors as well on text inside particular divs with a particular ID or a particular class. Okay, so that's child selectors, and thanks for watching.